Garrett Blevins here with week 2, day 1 of the Kingpin RTS split. Today I made it pretty much just an RTS day. I changed the Kingpin protocol because it had two or three sets of 8 to 12 reps. So, 2 sets of 12 for 24 reps or 3 sets of 8 for 24 reps is pretty much what it came down to. I decided to go 5 by 5 since I'm close to competition. I feel like it's going to be better for me if I keep the rep ranges a little bit lower and just do some more sets. This weight here, 425, moved pretty well, but it still felt really heavy. I was just kind of out of it today. Still tired and sore from week 1 and from testing. For some reason, I just haven't been able to fully recover. Also, I forgot my chalk today, so as you're going to see on this set, which was, I believe, set 4, I start to lose my grip because my hands are sweaty. The bar was getting sweaty. It's pretty hot in the gym, and start to lose it there with my right hand. Just barely get it up, but it's having some issues, so I decided to throw on the straps for all the sets after that. This last set went pretty well with the straps. It's important when you use straps to kind of learn how to use them. They're difficult to use. You got to figure out how to, one, get them tight, get them to sit on your wrists properly, but also you're going to have to start from the bottom position. I really like to start from the top and drop in fast and come up, so just have to get used to them. Pulled 605 or 600 rather on block pulls. I think these blocks are about 2.5 inches high. They're really just 45-pound bumper plates that are thicker than the other ones in the gym. The first set I did a set of 3. I was thinking 6 sets of 3, but it ended up doing doubles for the other 5 sets just because the weight was really heavy and I was having a tough time with it. Still good amount of volume for the day. Over 20,000 pounds of deadlift work alone, and so I'm pretty happy with that. Got a little lightheaded in between some of these sets, but felt pretty good. Also felt like doing some floor presses I had programmed after that. So even though I was really tired and had a lot of deadlift volume for the day, did some floor press. Started out with 365, and that went really well, so I decided to up it to 385. These were supposed to be in an RPE 9 for this day, and I think I kept it pretty close to that. So all in all, happy with these reps. Feeling pretty good with my upper body. We'll see how the rest of the days go. So you might be wondering, what do you do after 30,000 pounds of barbell volume? Well, this is what you do. So I just finished my workout. Got home, and I'm making some filet mignon steaks for my wife and I. This is from Fresh and Easy. I got a pound for a little over a pound actually for $8.29. It was on sale, so I thought that was pretty good. Comes with this sauce. We'll see how that tastes. So what I'm doing right now is I'm searing it on very high heat. So I'm going to sear both sides until they're nice and cooked. Now I always like my meat cooked a little less than my wife, so I'll make hers well done. But the way I do that is going to be with the oven. I'll take it up to 350 and I'll bake it the rest of the way after it's seared. So let's see what we got going on here. See if this is ready. Oh yeah, that's great. Man, that filet mignon is tender. Alright, so and there you go. You see how that looks? See how that's crusted up right there? That's just great. Now if you like rare steak, you can see from the side that's cooked in just a little bit once it's been flipped over. You see how it's cooked down there maybe about 1/4 of an inch, and you can see the other side down here at the bottom is starting to cook, but it's still extremely rare in the middle. So that's why you put it in the oven. You sear the sides to get that nice crust and that real cooked flavor and kind of the charred flavor, but at the same time you don't want to cook the whole thing all the way through. To do that on this grill here would absolutely ruin the outside of the meat. And again, that's why you use the oven, to get the internal temperature where you want it. Now additionally, the only way to know when a steak is fully cooked without cutting into it, or cooked to the likeness that you want, is to use a meat thermometer. So if you don't have one of these, you should get one, or else you're going to find yourself flipping your meat way too much. You're going to be having to cut into it to see how done it is, and unless you like real rare steaks, you're probably not going to get what you want. I usually like the internal temperature to be about 160 before I pull it out. My wife likes it more around 170, 175. So, I'll cook these steaks until I see the thermometer at 160, then I'll pull mine out and I'll leave hers in until I see it at 170. After you pull out the meat, it's still going to cook up another 3 to 5 degrees, so you always let the meat sit for about 5 to 10 minutes, probably more like 10 minutes after you cook it. That way all the juices reconstitute, so when you cut into it, the juices don't all run out and you don't lose all that flavor. Also, we're going to be having some of this sourdough bread that we got at the farmer's market. It looks awesome, so we're going to have some of that on the side. And we're going to have some of these potatoes. I think my wife's going to be putting butter and Parmesan cheese on top of them, so these are going to be pretty good. Alright, additionally we're having some spinach, mulberry, and feta cheese salad on the side. Mulberries are really sweet. It's nice to balance them out with the feta, and then we're probably going to have some sort of balsamic vinaigrette sort of dressing on it. So I'm going to get my Popeye on with the spinach. Alright, so here's the finished product. I threw half an avocado in there as well. We've got the potatoes. They're red potatoes with butter and Parmesan and a little bit of parsley. Filet mignon, splurged on the meat today a little bit, and some of the sourdough bread with butter. Additionally, we've got our spinach salad, as I mentioned earlier, with mulberries, feta cheese, and raspberry vinaigrette. And we've got some, it's pretty much like beef gravy that came with it. I don't know if I'll like that or not. I'm not going to put it on my meat. I kind of like just the taste of meat by itself. So all in all, it looks pretty good. My wife has put some pecans on her salad as well. So we're going to get to eating. Just so you know, that's the greatness that comes when you use a meat thermometer. For me, that's perfect. What I wanted to talk about today is considering the other. This verse from Philippians says, "Do nothing from selfish ambition or vain conceit, but in humility consider others as above yourself." The reason that Paul is saying this and what he goes on to talk about in the chapter is this is exactly what Jesus Christ did, that he gave up his own desires, his own will, and laid down his life for the rest of the world. He didn't focus on his needs, his wants, his desires, but instead he gave up those desires in obedience to the Father so that he could do something for everybody else. This is something that Christians, those who follow Christ, are supposed to imitate. And if they are not imitating it, they're not walking as Christ walked. They're not living as Christ lived. And this is incredibly difficult. You can't function with a quid pro quo lifestyle. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours way of living. This is a selfless way of living that really does consider other people and their own importance. And it's hard to live that way, but that's what followers of Christ are called to. So if you ever have a problem with Christians, I probably bet that they weren't living up to this mandate, because who has a problem with somebody that's genuinely concerned about them and cares about them? I mean, you get mad at judgmental people that maybe need to tell you how bad you are so they can somehow make themselves feel better, but that's not what we're called to, in my opinion, and that's not what I feel called to either. So I hope you all doing well out there. Thanks for watching this video. Blessings.